Good evening. It's Jim Worthington here on another NAC Facebook Live event. Thanks for all 5 of you that are out there watching tonight. We wanted to go over some of the things that are happening, a little bit of the recap from the last year, some exciting announcements about things that are going to happen in the future sooner than later. But if you have any questions during this thing, send them in and we're going to try to answer those at the end. First of all, I want to say that it's been a full year since we've opened up end of last June. So we've had 1 year under our belt, and I'm happy to say that we've really come back with a vengeance, particularly the last 3 or 4 months. We're still down 20% of the members that we were pre-closure in 2019. But as far as the industry is concerned, that's significant because most clubs are down 30-40% of their members haven't returned. We've been fortunate. I think it's because of the diversity of the offerings we have here, as well as our great staff and all the programs and the facilities. And it's a real testament to the NAC because, frankly, 27% of the clubs in the industry have closed, and they expect another 10 to 15%. So the fact that the NAC has withstood this last year and a half of the shutdown has been amazing. Have we been hurt financially? Sure. We've in the last year and a half we've lost $10 million in revenue, which has been tough. I woke up about 6-8 months ago and I came to the realization that it really affected the members more than it did me personally. The NAC was originally a 3-acre facility. It's now 28 acres, and I came to realize that the probably 95% of all the money that was ever made here just went back into expanding the facilities and buying more ground and making us bigger. So, I mean, it was a relief for me to realize I wasn't going personally bankrupt, but it did come to me that I felt bad because we weren't able to keep the ball rolling as much as we wanted to do too. Now, that being said, ironically, during the shutdown, I think we were about the only club I know of America that actually grew and got bigger and better during the last year. We spent over $5 million renovating and expanding our facilities, from the women's locker room, which has turned out phenomenal, to the new stairwells and the hallways and the completion of the entrance, the Northfield entrance that we have. So we spent a lot of money when most clubs, all clubs, were contracting and spending no money. We were doing things like improving the fitness center back here with taking out the handicap ramp and putting in a new one on the side there, and all kinds of things outside, adding cabanas and so on and so forth. So we spent $5 million even though we had lost $10 million in revenue. So I think that was good that we kept the ball rolling. We actually have another 8 to 12 million of expansion things planned for the future. When we get a little bit further down the road, we look to do a lot of that in bulk. We do have some things we're going to announce tonight that we are going to do. They gave me a lot to go over here, so I have to check my notes every now and then. But I mentioned that in regards to last year, how positive it's been for us. We have gotten more new members that have never been more excited about being at the NAC. It's incredible. The people that have come in have been so engaged in wanting a healthy lifestyle, and it's not just individual, it's families, it's youth, it has been such a great thing to see over the last year. They believe in exercise, they believe in our mission, which is to make lives better. It really has been heartwarming to see that. Honestly, I want to tell you that going along that lines is the NAC's never been busier in terms of attendance, even though we're 20% down in total memberships. So in other words, we're down from 12,000 members to about 9,500. The people that are coming here are coming more often. So when you pull into the parking lot, you're going to see that we're almost back to where we used to be. But that's because our members are coming more than they typically did in the past, and we love that. I mean, people that were coming 2 times a week are coming 3 and 4, and People that were coming one time a week are coming two, and again, a testament to the staff and the programming and all the things we do here. It's just really been great. In terms of the programming, we've kind of tailored our programming now to the new group of people. We've actually gotten younger in the last year and a half in terms of our membership base. A lot of the people that were seniors and people that at one time were here, many of them didn't come back because they're still, not sure that they want to be in an environment with a lot of people. But the way we've gotten younger is a lot of the new people that have joined have been younger. They've been families and so on and so forth. So we're really tailoring a lot of what we do going forward. I kind of built this business on the baby boom population from the 1981 on, and I kind of followed the trends of what they would want. And now we're actually going to follow, more what the millennials and the younger people want in terms of what are they looking for in a facility. I guess I want to get on to the future of the NAC and the expansion. That's one of the major announcements tonight. We have held off on the 3 studios that we were going to do here. Let's be honest. I mean, the cash flow is not as good as it was, and particularly when this year alone will be down $5 million. So that's the money that fuels the expansion. But I've decided to bite the bullet and find another way around that. So I'm going to take you over to the thing. I'm going to make you guys walk and take you over to the studios. I think I showed you this last time, but there's 3 studios on the second floor, the upper level here, that we had put on hold during the last 6 months or so until we saw that, until we stabilized and got back on our feet. So the one here's the Techno Gym, which is here over to my left. This is going to be where the Techno Gym is across the main entrance now, is going to come over here. The wall will obviously come down. This will be an all open air. We're working on the plans now. We're anticipating all things working out. Now remember, there's a supply chain issue now in America getting materials. We are hopeful this will get done no later than October 1st to October 15th. Again, condition upon materials. That's going to be a big part. And a little bit the labor, though we think we got that nailed down. This is the home of what was going to be called the Bar Lab. I think we're now going to be just calling it Lab. It's going to be a room that's going to be more multifunctional, that can be used for a lot of different programming. It will have bar, by the way, but again, it won't be specifically for that. And again, this will be all glass, so that when you're here looking through, it'll be all open air over here and glass enclosed here. So we're really excited about this. Casey, our Group X director, is working on it now with our architects. Here's the future home of the Spin, which we call Rev. This probably was the questions prior to tonight, in regards to tonight. This was probably got the most questions. When is Spin going to get back open? It's right down here around the corner is Spin, down here in the old yoga studio down the hallway. We know that's not a great environment. You see down there. It's going to be behind here. It's stadium seating. It's going to, one of the concessions we're going to make, though, early on is that there's a lot of audio visual, and there's a big screen that goes in there. That's about $300,000 to $400,000. We're probably going to eliminate that short term, bring that back probably the first of the year. But we're going to get the room done so that we can at least have a better experience environmentally for the members. So again, this should all be done hopefully by mid-October, early October, and that's the idea. That's the big announcement tonight, that we're going to start construction on that again. We need to get the permit from the township. As soon as we do, that will start up again. So. By the way, and it sounds like it's not a lot, but once you get started in this is $1 million to $1.5 million worth of construction. So, I don't want you to think that we were, cheap, or we didn't want to. Everything's very expensive, particularly now with construction being so expensive. I want to walk you back here. You didn't anticipate this, but I want to show you something that I'm excited about that we settle on next week, and that's an adjacent piece of property that we are buying next Tuesday. We settle on it. And it was funny, we had some questions. People said, well, why would you buy pieces of land and not finish the projects you have? And, you know, it's a good question, but when you think about it, it kind of makes it simple for you to understand it. We'll have to go over here. I don't know if you can see it from here, but if you get in the corner and go over here, camera woman, Lindsay, get over there and shoot it over there towards the field house. It's the building next to the field house. So when you come in the long driveway off Pheasant Run, it's the land to the right when you pull in the driveway. It's 3 acres. Now, why is that significant? The NAC was originally 3 acres, and the smartest thing we ever did, a partner of mine, Peter Brom, said early on, he said, you either grow or you die. And what happened was we started buying the parcels around us. If we as the Newtown Athletic Club never bought any land around us, we would have been landlocked, and we could have never grown. We were only 3 acres, 15,000 square feet. So we bought buildings that were behind us, land that was behind us, and that's why this complex is so encompassing and so big. It's because we had the vision to do that. Now, what does that 3 acres do for us? There's a thing called pervious cover that you can only put so much building on a piece of ground. So we were built out. So if we wanted to expand and put more pools out there, which we wanted to do, we couldn't because the township regulations wouldn't let you add more attractions here like pools or more building. So when you buy the land next door, even though it has a building on it, I'll knock the building down. That will be 2.5 acres of open space. We can apply it to this parcel, which allows me to build more here. So all these things, like we've had requests, well, the teens have nothing to do. You know, in the summertime, they don't want to come here. Well, now I can build another pool or another facility outside for them, just for them, so they can congregate. People have talked about a swim team, a swim pool. Competitive swim pool out there. Now I can put that out there because I've got more land to be able to do it. So I'm allowed to build more on here. No different than the adult pool. The adult pool, every year we make it bigger. Every year we don't have enough loungers and enough seating capacity because it's popular. That's a good thing. When we did this 10 years ago, we didn't realize how popular it would be. And in fact, it's still by far the best adult swim pool in the fitness industry, bar none, and it's 10 years old. But we've continued to expand it. If that land next door will allow me to wrap around and expand even more the adult pool. So that land was probably the most significant thing that we could have did, and it wasn't cheap. It was $3.5 million for that land, and you go, wow, that's a lot of money, particularly when you're talking about $1.5 million over there. But that will let us grow into the future for the next 5 to 10 years for things that, who knows what we're going to need in terms of whether it's indoor tennis, which has been talked about, of course, more pools, our wellness facility, because we're becoming more medically oriented. So there's really some cool things that we're going to be able to do because we purchased that land next Tuesday. It was a big number, but we found out over the years if you didn't have the ability to grow, then your business was going to be impacted. So I'm really excited about that. We're getting to the end of some of the topics they wanted me to talk about, but it's obvious that we're moving into being a total lifestyle center. I mean, we've got a preschool, we've got senior programs, we have wellness now with the Well Lounge, we have a concierge doctor coming on board. We'll have our own medical physician here that if you want to sign up, you would have 24/7 access to a physician for a small fee each month. We hope to build that into not just one doctor, 2 or 3. We'll be able to do all kinds of testing and all kind of medical things that you can get for everything from a prescription here to your annual physical. And then medical weight loss, all kinds of things. So they're the things we're moving into. So that being said, some of the things I want to emphasize that are on board now. For instance, our preschool, which has been a phenomenal success. We have a great team of people that runs that. This fall, people are enrolling for that. It's open now. It's right on the corner here. It's tremendous. Newtown Discovery, it's unbelievable. Our summer camp this summer has had the most attendance that we've ever had. It's winning accolades all over. Bree, who runs it, and Amanda Sinkler, who oversaw it, started years ago for us, and her staff has done a phenomenal job. Some other things I want to mention is the Well Lounge. If you're not familiar with the Well Lounge, it opened up 3 months ago. They do injectables, lasers, facials. They even have this new piece of equipment that I still can't believe I paid $250,000 for, but it's called the M-Sculpt Neo, which reduces fat and builds muscle. And I have to tell you, I did it last Monday, and this Monday you do it 4 times. I'm not going to take off my shirt because I don't want to embarrass myself, but it actually does work. It really does work. And it really is. And it's something that is really cutting edge, and they're booking people over. So if you want to try that, I know these sound like advertisements for the club, and a little bit they are, but I just want to let you know all the things that are going on around here. Another thing that you want to, I'm going to give a shout out to Maggie's Summer Challenge. She's one of our trainers, and she had a summer challenge. I think she had 17 or 20 people, and it really went well. She's doing another one. And by the way, the winners of that was Sophia and Jennifer. So I'm giving them a little accolades now. So there's another one starting in September. I think I just made a best friend now with Maggie since I did that. And Vinny, another one of our trainers, starting a running club here. And I hear that he's got all kinds of people. So these are some of the things that are happening here that I wanted to let you know about. Something on a fun note is for those that were here at the 70s party a couple weeks ago, I wasn't around, but I was getting texts where I was. I was down the Jersey Shore, and people were loving it. And they had such a great time. The staff here decided to do another one. They're going to do an 80s party. I think I was 50 years old in the 80s, but they're doing an 80s party. It's called Forever Young, and it's an 80s neon night party. Now, I don't know what the heck that is, but they told me to say that. Of course, it's for all people 21 and up. I think there's a fee. Is there a guest fee for non-members, or is it open to the public? Yeah, I don't even know. Well, we'll find that out. Taylor walked away. So, that's August 14th. And I think next summer what they're going to do is they're going to do one in June, July, and August. So you have one each month that we can look forward to. One thing I'm going to ask the folks on this thing, and we got some questions asked of this, but there's a bill out that we've been very active in called the GYMS Act. The GYMS Act is a bill in Washington right now. It's sponsored in the House by Congressman Fitzpatrick, which is our congressman, and a congressman from Chicago, Illinois. Oh, God, it slips in my name. His name slips my mind, but we have 150 sponsors in the House, and in the Senate we have 12. But basically what it is, it's $30 billion worth of relief for the fitness industry. Remember earlier I told you 27% of fitness clubs are now closed. They expect another 15% minimum. So that means almost half of our industry is going to be wiped out. And somebody might say, well, that's good for you, Jim, because you're going to be here and you'll get all their members. I don't believe that. I think that's bad for Jim. I think Jim Worthington, I think it's bad for consumers. I think it's bad for Americans. There's more than enough people to help all our businesses, and I don't want to see anybody go out of business. And the idea behind the GYMS Act, we're the only industry, bar none, that has not gotten any direct relief from the federal government. So we are trying to plead for them to say, look, help us, because we keep people well. Exercise is medicine. And the bottom line is, if you go back and statistically look at it, the people that got COVID that were fatalities from COVID had 2.6 comorbidities. They had 2.5 things or more wrong with them: high blood pressure, overweight, diabetes. People that come to health clubs and work out, they tend to have no comorbidities or very low comorbidities. And in fact, statistics show that people that were in shape, very few of them were any fatalities. So, you know, we believe exercise helps not only your lifestyle, keeps you alive. And it's important that the federal government helps us with that. That being said, at the end of this thing, there's going to be a little link to click on that's going to ask you to send a message. It's simple. You go click it, you put your name in, you submit it, and it goes to our 2 senators, Casey and Toomey, to tell them to support that. So we're working like heck to try to get, and by the way, the NAC would benefit from that bill too. Of course, any money we get is going to be put back into accelerating our renovations, our expansion, so which is what we always do. So help us get well, and our industry by getting well, by getting on and taking a minute at the end of this thing to click on the link and send it. So let's go to some of these questions that we have. And there was a lot of them. A lot of them are duplicates, but they're all good. Colette asks, when will the hot yoga and spin studio be opening? Well, first of all, the hot yoga, which is where spin is now, probably a little while. And when I say a little while, it could be 6 months to a year. The reason why is to get access from the outside to stage the equipment needed to fix these other 3 studios. You have to come through the hot yoga room, unfortunately. So, in fact, that's going to shut that room down completely. So that room's going to be towards the end. We would love to have your hot yoga sooner or later, but you got to somehow access the building. You can't come through the front door where the members are. So you got to come in through the side of the building, and you can't go over the pool. So you have to put a hole in the 2nd floor to bring the materials and all the stuff into the area up here to finish Techno Gym, bar, and the spin studio. Spin studio, we just told you, we're looking to hopefully open that up October 1 to October 15th. Again, all based on permitting, materials, and just, you know, the labor force being able to bang it out. I think we should be good on that. So that answers that. When will the bar studio be opening? Again, that's in this next phase, October 15th, we hope at the latest. Another question here, are you still ordering more lounges for the outdoor resort? Well, we did. We actually ordered them at the end of May. But because of the supply chain and all the problems getting things, I mean, historically, last year, if we would have ordered loungers, we'd get them in 4 weeks. Now they're telling us, we followed up on it today, it may not be till the end of August, if not September. So we're having the same problem everybody else is, just getting things. It wasn't that the order wasn't placed, it's just we can't get the materials. Here was a question. Why buy the land next door with incomplete projects inside? Well, I think we explained that, you know, that piece of property I've been trying to buy for 20 years. And it was available about 10 years ago, and somehow it slipped through the cracks and we weren't able to get it. Now it's available. I had to buy it because who's to say it would ever become available again? And if I didn't buy it, then we could never expand the club anymore, and we couldn't add the pools and all the other things that you want me to do to make the experience better here. That will be, if I could buy more land, I'd do it tomorrow, and I would stop doing anything in here to do that, knowing that in the future it would enhance this facility tremendously. We could probably put on another, and that's 250,000 square feet. Because of that land, we would probably be able to increase the size of here by 25%, which is big. And we're one of the largest health clubs in America now. So you imagine if we put that on there. So we had to do that. It wasn't a choice because it might not have came back again. Here's a good question. I love this one. What are the chances you adding a co-working space? Many of us work remote and have a budget for this. Well, that's good to know. They have a budget for it. We've had that in the plans for 3.5 years. we've got the drawing set up. It's going to be in the middle of the club. It's probably where the spa is now. Believe it or not, we're going to open up that entire section of the club, so the whole middle of the club is open, and we're looking to do that there. That was a casualty again of the Corona shutdown. That was one of the things that we're going to do, as well as a new entrance and doing the European spa at the pool. So yes, we have plans for that. It's just a matter of getting back on it. I mean, you can help us out. Refer more members so we get back up to where we used to be. Use the well lounge, do personal training. All those things helps us get the money to redeploy back into here. So that's, we're hoping we pick up sooner than later. And but we are planning on doing that down the road. It's just going to take a little bit. Haley S. says, will the NAC ever get tanning beds? I feel like a lot of people would love that. I always feel like Haley S. might be somebody younger, and only because I think tanning beds are like one of these things that it's controversial. Is it healthy? Is it not healthy? We believe in wellness and, healthy lifestyles and all that stuff. I'm not sure that it's the way we want to go. I know the Planet Fitnesses and the Edges and all those guys have that, and I'm not saying that that's bad for them. Whatever they need to do is good for them. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just not sure. So the answer to that, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that that's the way we want to go. I'm not saying we never will, but I have somewhat of a philosophical issue with that at the moment. Francesca asks, will childcare be available longer than 12 noon? Yeah, based on demand. We haven't seen that. Yes, there are some people that have asked for, not as many as you think. In fact, we did at one point extend the hours. They weren't used. Trust me, when the time comes to where we have enough demand to make it work, we can't put a babysitter in there with, and have no one be in there, or 3 babysitters and have 2 kids in there. Again, we have to watch, our expenditures so that we can continue, the improvements of the club and offer things that are more well used. But yes, when the time comes, we were glad to extend the hours. That means we're getting busier, so that'd be awesome. And who knows, maybe that'll happen in September when the kids go back to school. Let's hope so. When is the men's locker room getting a nice sauna? Well, it was funny. 3 months ago was when they were going to get their old sauna back. So we gave them the old sauna back, and we gave them the steam room, but now it's not a nice sauna. So, okay, I get it. Well, that was all part of what was supposed to be done with the men's locker room. When the women's was done, they would get out of the old men's locker room, and then we would start the renovations in there. But a little thing called a $10 million setback in revenue got in the way. And, as much as I'd like to say that, I know sometimes you think the government is printing money, but I'm not getting all that. We're not printing money. So at the end of the day, we have to just make sure that we're finishing up the things that are necessary to accommodate the most people. We do have a sauna and steam room. It's all part of that pool renovation project that was supposed to start this year. If we didn't, it was going to be done in June, July, and August right now, along with the European spa, which I think is going to be one of the coolest things we ever did. By the way, that's another $4 or $5 million project. So I have visions of doing that. We're going to do that. I'm going to see that through. It's just not something we can do right now because, we need to get back to where we were to be able to get the revenue, the profit to put back into the facility. And by the way, if you don't believe that, next time in your parking lot, check on the side. I'm driving my dad's 2011 Mercury Marquis. So it's not like it's going into me, which is fine. I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, we are every dollar we get, we're putting back in here. Trust me. Can we have more evening workout classes? I didn't know the answer to that, so I asked, and they said, yeah, with the addition of the 3 new studios, we're definitely going to offer more classes, more modalities, things for people to do. So, yeah, that's coming again in the fall. Will there be scheduled? This will go on. Will there be Matt E? Will there be scheduled classes for kids in the fall, like studio dance? Yeah, here's the answer to that. We're planning to enhance the fall schedule, 75 to 100 classes per week, a drop-in style, just like we have now. So you don't have to register, and there'll be a bunch of new type classes offered. And by the way, we have this girl, Sam, that runs that area up there. She is amazing. I mean, of all the years that we've had kids program, like 20 plus years, I've never heard more compliments about the kids programming, the classes, and the director. And she is amazing based on everything I'm hearing. So Sam, you're doing a good job. Thank you. We're thrilled to have you on board here. Pat wants to know, when are the men's locker rooms getting the ice water filled again? We used to put like ice water. I mean, honestly, I had no idea it wasn't getting filled, so I'm going to check that out and tell them that we'll start that by, I'll tell Joel, because Joel's in charge of that, and everybody knows Joel. He's been here for 35 years. I'm going to make sure when I'm done this, Joel's going to be assigned that task and get that ice water back in there. It actually is a nice little touch, by the way. I don't know who sent this, anonymous, but will you ever offer dog sitting in addition to child care? Would be helpful and fun. Now, I don't know if we're going to put the dogs in with the kids or not. I don't think that's what they mean, but I didn't think of dog sitting. I know people have talked about that. It might be something, I don't know. I do have 2 dogs, but that's not kind of up my alley. But we'll look into that. I'm not sure where that would happen, but my staff will vet anything that you guys suggest. Chris asked, question for Jim. Our family may be moving to Jenkintown. We have learned that there's nothing compared to the NAC in that area. Fitness centers, country clubs in the area even acknowledge what a gem the NAC is. Do you have any plans to grow and develop a facility in that area, or do you plan to have an indoor-outdoor pool facility added to Horsham? Recognizing current location doesn't support that. Thank you. The answer is, you won't find anything, no, and no. I mean, no, I do not plan on doing any more health clubs anywhere in America. I've got my hands full with the NAC, and I also do a lot of other things outside of NAC that help me actually, reinvest in the NAC. So this is the only thing we want to do. This is our contribution to not just this community, but to the fitness industry. Globally. I mean, we're like a lab, to explore where fitness can go and health and lifestyle centers can go. I just want to concentrate on this. I want to bring everything to this, from apartments to indoor tennis to more pools and concierge doctors and everything you can think of to this site, so that we will be the leading club in the world. I say this all the time. Our peers recognize us as, the peers in our industry recognize us as one of the top clubs in the world. We have visitations from all over the world. I would say that, we're mentioned with a handful of clubs over the world. Our goal is to be mentioned as the top club in the world. And I think that we're not that far off. And I think the fact that we continue to expand and renovate during the coronavirus, similar to what I did during the recession when I added the fitness center and the pool right after that. Nobody else was growing during that time. We did, and we came back and we had more members than we ever could dream of. And I think the reason why we've been quick to get a lot of people back here, particularly new members, is because we kept our facility nice. We fixed it up during that time. We opened the women's locker room. And the fact of the matter is, it's, I'm not going to brag because it's ours or mine, but we've done everything we can to make this the premier facility in the world. I always laugh when someone says, yeah, they're the best health club in Bucks County. I'm going, well, that's nice, but we are considered one of the top in the world. And the facilities are just part of it. The staff is the main reason. We have the best staff in the fitness industry. I say it every time we're on these calls, from Group X to child care to housekeeping to people like Joel and Linda Mitchell and Brian Herman and my son Jack, who's the facilities manager, and Casey Taylor in marketing. I go on and on. Melissa, Denise. They're just phenomenal people. Chloe out at the pool, she's amazing. That's what makes the NAC great. And my only hope with my members, you folks that are listening tonight, is treat them with respect and the dignity they deserve, because they're good people and they've worked through all kinds of horrible conditions in the last year to give you this amazing club. And that's where I draw the line is, you know, people can be critical of me, they can say whatever they want, blah, 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 but when it comes to my staff, you have to respect them and be appreciative that we have them. They're just the best of the best. So I don't know if we have any other questions there, Taylor. I guess this was one of our quicker, well, 40 minutes, we're pretty good on that. So anyway, I wanted to just say this, it's been a pleasure. Keep posted, and we'll keep you posted on the things that are going to come up. We've got a lot of stuff that's going to happen real quick, real soon. And we are committed to being the best, and the reason why you can be the best is because you guys are the best. Our members here, I will tell you, I've never been happier with our member base. They love what we stand for in terms of exercise and lifestyle. Everybody there's inclusivity, and there's respect for diversity. And one last thing I want to say, that to the police that come here in the military, we have never had more police officers and military than we do now, and we respect that, and we appreciate what they do every day. And I tell you, they come here, some of them travel all the way from Philadelphia to escape the madness down here to get a workout and be in an environment where they feel, you know, a part of a community and feel respected. And I just want to shout out to those folks that came. But thank you to all the members. You guys are the best, and without you, we can't keep the ball rolling. Make sure you post pictures of NAC, promote it, tell your friends, you know, utilize the services, get a little Botox, have a drink at the bar, maybe personal train a little bit, take advantage, get a haircut by Morgan, my new daughter-in-law. Just keep supporting us, and we'll keep supporting you and make this the place that you want it to be. Thank you.